If you're looking for Miami Dolphins videos 24/7, then go ahead and click that subscribe button. Help us get to 22,000 subs by the end of the week. I know a lot of stuff is happening free agency. What if some trades go down? The draft is about to happen. If you're a diehard Dolphin fan, then this is the channel for you. What's up, Miami Dolphin fans? It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to walk you through, or maybe a light jog, because the Miami Dolphins have been an active team in free agency. We're going to go through all the moves that they have made at this point, and then I'm going to go out and tell you 5 players that I believe the Dolphins should still target in 2022 NFL free agency. So the first move that they made was technically right before free agency started. They brought back Emmanuel Ogbah. Love the move of Chase Edmonds, Ced Wilson, Teddy Bridgewater. 4 moves came out, guns a-blazing. Then you bring back Keon Crossan, bring back Duke Riley, bring back Preston Williams, and then Connor Williams at 2 years, $14 million. I don't condone stealing, but that's a steal that I like. Landon Roberts, another good player here for Miami. Sam McGuavin, you brought him back. Sheldrick, more of a white wine fan, red wine. Those details are still TBA. Alec Ingold, I thought was a little bit of an overpay, but going out and getting a fullback and a run-first style of team, that does make some sense to me. You also were able to bring back Raheem Mostert and Trent Sherfield, both players that have passed and have actually done a halfway decent job with Mike McDaniel. Now, these players that you're about to see aren't ranked in any particular order. And for everyone wondering, well, how much money does Miami have? You're sitting at about $16.5 million in cap space. Both Spotrac and Over the Cap have Miami at 16.5. The reason why all these deals are still estimated is because you just saw in a past few of those graphics, some of the contract details are TBA. But 16.5 puts you somewhere around like 15th, 14th, 13th in the NFL and being able to go out and spend. So you're going to see 5 players. And the reason why I believe that the Dolphins and every team in the AFC needs to continue to spend is because there's like 11, 12 legitimate playoff teams in the AFC. The first name that I'm going to go ahead and bring up has been a name that I've mentioned before in trade talks, but I have not made a video since La'el Collins has been released by the Dallas Cowboys. And I know the Dolphins need a right tackle. The reason why I said last week that the Dolphins need to go out and try to trade for Collins is because when you got a quarterback that's a lefty, his right tackle position is his blind side. And sure, Collins has some off-the-field issues because, well, let's just face it, in 2020 he got fat, he had a hip injury and wasn't able to play. But in 2019, 2021, you can make the argument he was the best right tackle in all of football. 671 snaps. He had 8 penalties, allowed only 2 sacks, 0 quarterback hits. You're talking about a PFF run grade of 89.2. You're telling me Mike McDaniel doesn't want that? So go ahead, protect Tua's blind side, and go out and find a tackle that's physical, that's mean, that's only 28 years old. And when I see players like Morgan Moses getting a 3-year, $15 million deal, I'd say, hey, Collins, you had some bullshit issues going on in 2020. I'm going to give you 2 years. I might even give you 3 years at about $8 million a year. If Miami could do that, they should absolutely do it because there's a lot of NFL teams that have interest in Collins. And then here's the other thing. Maybe you decide to go back with Austin Jackson on the left side. You've made a lot of draft investments. You've made a ton of draft investments on Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson. I've always said that I believe Eichenberg is somebody who can play guard a little bit better than what he can play tackle. You drafted Austin Jackson, 19th overall, or was it 19th overall? Either way, he was a first-round pick just a few years ago. Make him start at left tackle. Hopefully the new regime can get it going for that man right there. So here's your opportunity. You guys be Chris Greer. That's going to be the pinned comment of today's show. So while you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, I want you to scroll on down. Should the Dolphins sign La'el Collins? Type that Y for yes or N for no. Next player coming up here is J.C. Tretter, another dude that I said with all those Browns rumors that, hey, they might go ahead and trade him. I said the Dolphins should absolutely pick up the phone and try to go out and get J.C. Tretter, who I know you guys loved Ryan Jensen. I would take Tretter over Ryan Jensen. That's how much I like Tretter as a center. And if you're going to try to pound the football, if you're going to try to make sure that Tua stays upright and fix the worst offensive line in the National Football League. La'el Collins at right tackle, J.C. Tretter at center. Then you kick Liam Eichenberg, who can play next to a good player in Tretter. You have Austin Jackson. You might still not even be done then. You throw in Connor Williams in there at right guard. Like, you can make more moves. You can make more decisions. I love the fit here of Tretter at center. So you guys go ahead and tell me, what is the Dolphins' biggest need at this current moment? They've made a lot of moves. They've done a lot of things. Then I'm thinking about it. You're probably going to put Connor Williams at left guard. Maybe you kick Eichenberg over to right guard. Either way, what's the Dolphins' biggest need at this current moment? I know something that I think a lot of y'all need is a brand new Dolphins t-shirt, and you can go ahead and get this one at chatsports.com/DolphinsT. It is on sale right now, 20% off. The deal, not going to last for too long. I believe I'm looking down. It says 48 hours left. 48 hours left at this t-shirt, 20% off. Chatsports.com/DolphinsT. That link is available for y'all in the comments and in the description of today's video. Let's go to a familiar name, Kyle Van Noy. I was pissed off when Miami decided to get rid of Van Noy, who had a pretty stellar season with Josh Boyer with the Miami Dolphins in 2020. They let him go. He goes on over to the New England Patriots, has another good year. He's a versatile dude who can play, I'll say he can play linebacker, defensive end, drop back into coverage. There's really nobody in the NFL that does what Van Noy does, and I think that's the truth. He is a good enough run stopper, good enough in coverage, good enough edge rusher where he can flip it around. Now, he asked for way too much money, was making way too much money the last time he was with Miami. So if he decides to come back on a $6-7 million type of deal, I do think Miami should at least be a little bit interested. The next name coming up here is Calais Campbell, and he's a solid nose tackle. If you can get the 36-year-old on a one-year deal, he's the top DT left. If you're looking for somebody on a 3-year deal, then maybe Akeem Hicks is your guy. But in a 3-4 defense, is there anybody bigger? Is there anybody better currently than Calais Campbell? And then the final name, a name that I know you guys are going to like a lot, it's Jarvis Landry. And it's funny, Collins, Tretter, and Landry have been three names that I've talked about as trade candidates. And now here we go, breaking it all down that you can go out and sign them. Jarvis spent his first few years with Miami, and he was spectacular. No doubt about it. He was the focal point of the offense. I think we would all agree with that. Jarvis Landry was the focal point. Then he goes to Cleveland to be with his buddy OBJ, and he's coming off a year where he had his worst season. 52 catches, 570 yards, 2 touchdowns. Father Time started to catch up with him a little bit, had some injuries, but I just saw what OBJ was able to do with the Rams, and I'm not saying Tua is Matthew Stafford, but I am saying this. Cleveland was a deserted wasteland for wide receiver talent, and now the fact that Jarvis is out of there, why would he not at least think about coming back to Miami? Jarvis Landry, you have Jalen Waddle, not sure what the future holds with Devontae Parker. You just tagged Mike Gesicki. I think a safety blanket like Landry would be one of the best things you could possibly have for Tua Tagovailoa. So let's go, y'all. Get in the comment section right now, and I want you to name a player that you think Miami should sign. As always, remember, if the Dolphins do go ahead and they make a move, we'll be dropping a video. So if you didn't subscribe at the beginning of the show, you better go ahead and do it now. Let me know a player that the Dolphins should go out and sign.